Paparazzi, genau. So on the table you will find, of course, our strudel and some coffee and milk. However, if you would like to have some hot chocolate or black tea, you just need to raise your hands and my colleagues will come around.
Chocolate.
There are so many cameras and videos and so. So where do you come from? And today I'm honored to show you how the original Viennese apple strudel is made. But I start now with a little bit of history. 300 years ago, the dough, and it comes originally from Turkey, did you know that? From Turkey. Met the filling from Hungary. And it's in Hungary that they both met under the Empress Maria Theresia. She fell so in love with the strudel, she brought it back to Vienna, but the recipe would be a little bit refined, and that's how the original Viennese apple strudel was born. Now I can present you the ingredients, of course. We'll need for the dough a very fine wheat flour. Then we'll need some lukewarm water, sunflower oil on the middle. And I start now by pressing down the ends like that, until I will form a heel in the middle. Because this heel will help us with the rolling afterwards. Yeah, for the rolling, I guess. And of course, do not forget to put some flour on it, otherwise it will be sticky. And yes, at this point I usually feel a little sorry because I guess that at home you'll have to run around the kitchen table a few times. But you know what? I'm gonna cheat a little. Because I have a turning table, it's a little easier, a little quicker. Anyway, the key point now is to roll the dough from the middle to the outside. And we just try to give a nice round shape to it. And then the next step is my use. We take the dough up. Finally, we can start stretching it. But if you want to have a little bit of fun at home, you can of course start throwing it up in the air. It is fun, that's for sure, and it is also a very good way to impress friends and family. There is just a little problem, the kitchen will be full of flour, that's for sure. Also yesterday I was doing a show just like this one and yeah, I threw it up as always. But I wasn't here on the side where I was supposed to be. I was here in the middle. So he stayed here hanging on the lamp. We had new decorations. Also, do not forget to take off any rings or jewelry because it's very easy to make holes. So we'll always use the back of the hands or the knuckles, but never the fingers for the same reason. And as you can see, it is already very thin in the middle. For that reason now we just need to stretch the extremities of the dough. And we'll just go around like that, like a wheel. We support it with one hand, we cross the arms, and we go around like that. Of course, you can also help yourself with the elbows when the dough is bigger. And when it is big enough, we just need to put it back on our strudel cloth, like that. And then what? Just stretch it over the edges. It's like making a bed. And at this point I want to try something because I want to see if my dough is flexible. I want to see if it is elastic. What do you think? It's so flexible you can play with it. It's like a drum. However, there is a test because here in Vienna it is said we are allowed only if we are able to read through it. So what do you think? Will it work or maybe not? Will we be able to? Let's try. So, what do you think? It did work. However, don't worry, because if you want to have it a little easier at home, you can just take a newspaper, a big headline, and it will work just as fine. At this point, I can start combining the dough with the filling. And I start now by building a wall with the filling. It is important for it to be compact and to be uniform. Because of course at the end we want uniform pieces, and since our dough doesn't contain any kind of sugar, that means if you don't want apples, or if you don't want a sweet filling, you can just try with other ingredients, maybe cheese, or vegetables, or meat, everything will work. The next step is now to lift this end of the dough over the filling. So we will just cover our wall, like that. And it is now that you see why we need the cloth. We'll need to lift it up. And the strudel will roll on its own. However, before we close it, we'll need to brush it with a little bit of melted butter, because this will act like a glue and it will keep the layers of dough together. Then the dough in excess, we just twist it, form a button with it, and the strudel is closed. The other side will do the same, like that. We can form it a little. And then we form a bag with a cloth. We lift it up, go onto the tray, and guess what? We just roll it down again. Just like that. Make it a little nicer, a little in a straight line. And before it goes in the oven, we'll need to brush it with some melted butter, because the butter will give the strudel a nice gold brown color, and of course it will make it taste much, much better. And that's it. As you can see, so quick and so easy you can make a strudel. Now we'll bake it, and we'll do it at 200 degrees Celsius, 20 to 30 minutes. But at home, you don't really need to check the clock, because you know it will be ready when it will have a nice gold brown color. And of course, when the whole house will smell like apple strudel. So now I am really at the end, unfortunately. If you still have some questions, languages, but the thing is, in the back you will find a telephone number. You know what that is? It's our strudel hotline. So, if you have some strudel problems at home, you made a hole, you forgot something, you just need to call us and we'll try to help you out. It's not 24 hours a day, but every day until 5 we are of course here. So now really I'm at the end.
Ben biraz keyif aldım şu işten.
Can I get a cup?